Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my two Ficus Benjamina bonsais here. So this one on the left I am training as a Cascade style. As you can see, it's kind of hanging down over the pot and it's going to come down and have a few different layers of branches. So I'm going to be training that in today, keeping this main one going straight down, and these side branches are going to be pulled up so it has like nice levels to the Cascade style. And this one here is my Penjing style bonsai. So this needs a bit of training as well. Some of the branches have grown quite large, need to be trimmed back, and other ones need to be bent over with some wires as well. So I'll start off with the Penjing today. So as you can see, it has put on a good bit of growth since the last update. I will have to loosen some of these wires, like this one here. It's just starting to cut in a bit, so I'm just going to loosen it slightly. But it hasn't thickened up too much. I think most of the wires are okay, and they can just be retweaked. They don't need to be taken off and put back on again. But what we'll need to do is wire in some of these new growths. So I'll turn it around the side so you can have a look. You can see here, I'd wired this down and a new branch has grown up here. That can be wired in. And on this back one, I had nipped it off at the end there, but you can see this new branch is completely unwired and this one at the back is still wired. It hasn't grown too much. So I need to train these in and probably shorten them as well. I've also got this long, strong shoot, so going straight up, and that's just going to take off and take all the energy up. So what I'm wanting to do is bend this back into the front. It will be easier to bend it to the back, but there's quite a big space here, so I think bending it forward will be a better option. So I'll just go ahead now and I'll wire up all the ones that need the wires. So that's all bent down. You can see it's in a more weeping pattern. It is a shame that the leaves are quite so large, so it's not really quite in keeping with the size of the bonsai. And in the future, I may have to give this a slightly larger disc and put it slightly better proportions. What I could have done originally is probably get a variety with slightly smaller leaves, and I can make these leaves smaller over time with having more constriction on the roots and also with some root pruning. But I'll just have to make do with the slightly larger leaves for now. I could always defoliate it, that's another way of getting smaller leaves, but I'll stick with it at the moment. So there's not really much pruning I'm going to do. I'm just going to nip off a few sections, and that's basically just going to be the tips. That's just to encourage further branching. I'm not at this moment too worried about the length of the branches. They're at about the perfect length for what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to nip the ends off these, and as I say, that's just to simply encourage branching, because I would like to have more branching on these because a lot of them, as you can see, are just kind of one branch coming down, not many side branches. This one has got a little one starting here, but generally there's not a lot of side branching happening at the moment. So nipping back the front shoot should hopefully encourage some better branching from further back. So that's all I'm going to do with the Penjing for now. It will look a bit odd, especially if some of these leaves are upside down, because I've bent the branch right over. But they should hopefully reorientate themselves. The leaves are normally quite good at doing that. And over time, when I have some new side branches coming, these leaves won't be here anyway. They'll have completely gone. We'll have some fresher leaves. So that's all I'm going to do for the Penjing for now. As you can see, it's starting to get there. Certainly getting some nice thickness starting to appear on this middle stem here. And we're getting the basic branch structure now set up. So I'll just continue with this over the next few months. Hopefully we'll get some more side branches, and we could possibly do with one more main branch on this side, as there is a bit of a gap just around this area. You can see there's a large branch coming over here, a nice small one here, this one going over that side, but there's a bit of a gap here. So we can maybe get something coming over, that would be nice. So that's all for that Penjing, and the next thing is the Cascade Ficus Benjamina. So here's my Cascade Ficus Benjamina. It's actually put on a lot of growth, which is quite good, and it's already getting a nice structure set up. I did tie it back quite harsh with this this cable here, and I've had to tighten it a few times, but I'm going to have to take this off because it's so tight at the moment. It's starting to cut into the stem. I'll just give you a close up there so you can see where it's cutting in. So you can see there it's cutting in, so I'm going to have to take that off and reapply it. Now I do actually have some thicker bonsai wire now, so I can put something slightly sturdy on this. Also, when it's wider, the wire, it's less likely to cut in. It tends to be the very narrow wire that cuts in the worst. And the reason I used a small wire at the first place was because that was the only wire I had. But I've now got some slightly larger thickness of bonsai wire, which will work much better than this thin stuff. So I'll take off the original one. So I'm actually going to have a very long wire for this. What I'm going to do is have it going from the bottom all the way along the main stem, and I'm going to continue to train that down. So that's the whole stem wired up. So now all I need to do is kind of bend the stem into the position that I'd like. So I'm just going to straighten it up a bit. You can see it's a bit to the side. So I'm just going to straighten that, pull it straighter down as well, because I'd like to have it coming completely straight down. So you can see there, I've created a much better straight stem there. So that'll be the main stem coming down the bottom. I'm not too worried about it coming away slightly. I would like it to come away slightly from the pot, but I'll have to keep an eye on that. It'll probably spring up a bit more as I've taken that main tensioner off, and I'll probably have to put another one on here just to hold it close towards the pot. I'd like to have it coming down steeply, but slowly going away from the pot. But I don't want it directly down like that, and I don't want it right up either. Just kind of that angle that it's at the moment is kind of perfect, but as I say, I'll have to keep an eye on it. I might have to tweak it if it starts to pull away again. So all I need to do now is get these side branches wired in. So that's the branches wired in. Now all I need to do is get the kind of positioning that I want. So I want these to be coming off to the side, and they're just going to be flat kind of horizons coming across. But I want them to be having a clear stem between this main stem and the second stem. So it's going to be a clear stem and then a little branching area at the end. So because of that, I'm going to cut off some of the closest branches towards the side branches. So this one here is going to come off. Also this one as well. And then I'm just going to nip the end off of this just to encourage some further branching at this end. That way I should have a branch that comes out and then has a nice little area of branches. This one as well, I'm just going to let this one grow longer because it's quite short at the moment, but I will take the side branch that is right off the bottom here because that doesn't need to grow any thicker. And then just tweak the whole thing in general, see how it looks. So it's going to look a bit like an upside down Christmas tree for now until I get this kind of as I want it. I will want these slightly further pointing further forwards, maybe one pointing forward, one pointing back. I can always adjust it as time goes on, see how it looks, see what works best. Also these top branches up here, I wouldn't mind if these grew a little bit longer. I might train these in, possibly one going the other way, I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to leave them, I'm not going to cut them off as they'll be useful for training later on. So that's it for now with the Cascade Ficus Benjamina bonsai and also my Penjing bonsai. And I'll give you guys an update hopefully in a few months time, show you how they're doing. Now it's going into autumn soon, so the growth is going to slow down, so it could be 2 or 3 months until we get any noticeable growth, and until it's enough has happened with these plants that they'll need any more work doing on them. But I'll give you an update when that happens.